Watch how this man comes face to face with danger and manages to escape a kidnapping attempt in the most unbelievable way. On a peaceful afternoon in South Africa, a man walked alone down the street, unaware that his life was in danger. You can see a security guard from a nearby residence who heard the noise. Grabbing his gun, he decided to check what was happening. The guard had just stopped a kidnapping in progress. But in the chaos, he couldn't tell who was the victim and who were the suspects. For his own safety, he commanded the man to lie down and wait for the police to arrive. The parked black vehicle had been followed by dangerous robbers, and things were about to take a very bad turn for the driver. The driver stepped out of his vehicle, unaware that he was being watched. They seemed to know exactly what was inside the vehicle. It's possible they had watched the man withdraw a large amount of money, or maybe someone from the bank tipped them off, something that's sadly common in South Africa. One of the suspects took out an object from the car, pulling out a tool to smash the window. Everything about their actions showed planning. They were prepared, and the getaway car was already reversing. It was clear they wanted something inside the car. They kept hitting the window, trying to break it and get away fast. They managed to snatch the bag, but fortunately, the owner was left unharmed. The next video, filmed on a cell phone in Durban, South Africa, shows 4 men moving in a certain direction, possibly after spotting the victim. This kind of incident has become increasingly common in South Africa in recent years. Criminals often target vehicles in busy areas like this, where drivers have little to no chance of escaping. They managed to rob the driver in broad daylight. What's shocking is how the crowd watched without reacting, a sign of how common this has become. Situations like these show why you should always be alert and avoid letting anyone stand too close to you in a store. The footage shows a young girl standing as if she's on a mission, alongside a woman old enough to be her mother. Together, they appear to target an elderly woman's handbag. In a quick move, the young girl snatches the cell phone without anyone noticing. It's heartbreaking to see children being taught to steal at such a young age. In broad daylight, a group of men stormed into a restaurant in South Africa. They quickly spread out across the restaurant, forcing customers to comply while collecting cash and valuables. One woman carefully placed her handbag out of sight, a sign that incidents like this are all too common at this restaurant. The robbers moved carelessly, almost as if this wasn't their first time targeting the place. Thankfully, no one was injured during the ordeal. This security officer came face to face with an armed gang. What happened next looked like something straight out of a movie.
Hello.
From another angle, the footage shows the officer's courage as he confronts the attackers. An encounter these thugs will remember for a long time. Thanks to this officer from Blue Security in Durban, South Africa, no one was injured. His bravery reminds us of Leo Prinsloo, the man who famously stood his ground against armed robbers. On the left side of the screen, 2 camera angles tell the story. A white car overtaking the one driven by Leo Prinsloo. It's later used to block the cash transport vehicle. In the rear view camera, a black car approaches rapidly, and seconds later, gunfire breaks out. A cash in transit heist has just begun.
You're done.
The white vehicle had already blocked the road ahead, and its occupants had stepped out carrying assault rifles. He narrowly missed one of the robbers, just inches away from being hit by the car. Gunfire erupted from every angle, but the armored car held strong, no one was hurt, and the robbers left empty-handed. These carjackers thought they had an easy target, but they were wrong. Reversing into your driveway is always advised. It makes it easier to escape quickly in situations like this. Moments after a wife returned home from work, but before the gate could close, armed men stormed in, demanding the car keys. What followed caught the carjackers completely off guard. The suspect in the white shirt went straight for the driver, trying to forcefully pull her out of the car, while the other stayed calm, pretending nothing was happening in case someone was watching. The robbers seemed to struggle to get the car keys. You can see the tension. They're running out of time, and the neighbors might already be watching. Luckily, no one was harmed in this incident. However, confronting armed criminals is never advised. It could have ended very badly. After dropping off a passenger, the driver had no idea he was being watched. Just a few meters away, carjackers were waiting. But what happened next caught them off guard. The suspects decided to approach the car, unaware that things were about to change very quickly. They decided to block the car, thinking they had him trapped, but the driver had other plans. He pulled off a quick escape, and no one was harmed. Unfortunately, the next victim didn't have the same luck. After closing the gate, the man walked toward his car, completely unaware of the danger he was about to face. The driver puts up a fight, refusing to give up his car without resistance. Moments later, a second vehicle arrives. The carjackers clearly came prepared. If you look closely, this took place in the same location as the previous clip. The suspects intended to use the second car to trap the victim in case he escaped the first vehicle. The man you see running just mugged an innocent victim, and moments later, the crowd decides to teach him a lesson he won't forget. That driver made sure the suspect wouldn't leave the scene so easily. Watch how these robbers forced the workers to open the security door and made off with large sums of cash. The footage shows a woman in distress, hesitating as she tries to decide whether to open the security door. You can see the suspects rushing in just as she opens the door. The last man appears to be holding someone hostage, likely using that person to intimidate the workers and force them to comply. After trapping everyone in the small office and taking their phones, the suspects started to search the area for valuables. Everyone made it out safely, but one can't help but wonder, was this planned from the inside? In South Africa, that possibility is more common than many realize. This scene reveals exactly how carjackers work. Reminder to always stay alert and aware of your surroundings while driving.